Hello YouTube, back at you guys with a second video today. This one's going to be shorter than the last. I want to talk a little bit about the creative process. I've been making a series of videos on this subject lately, and this one's going to be an extension of those. Something that I've mentioned in the past is structural tension, which is you taking an objective look at where you are and where you want to go, and building a tension between those two routes, an A to B point, and skyrocketing forward. Now, something that I think is very important in this is asking yourself first and foremost, where is it that you want to go? Or what is it that you want to create? Or what is the place, destination, goal, desire, objective that you truly want from deep within you? And making that the extension point that you're headed in. See, most people, they don't have an idea of what that exactly entails, and they have an ideal instead. They have some sort of nebulous sort of idea about themselves or something like this. And the problem with that is it does not actually create that sort of tension to where you can start to build a process. And that's the part of this video that I want to get into, because I've already talked about tension before. So having a process is a means to an end. It's the thing that you are enacting in that provides the structure to allow you to reach your goal. So if I have then you can think of this in two different ways. And one of them is an organic process. An organic process is something that naturally builds upon itself. Like, let's say I have a house, I start to raise a family, all of a sudden we just had our third daughter, now I need to have a new room. So I might have to build a new room in the house or something like this. So that's an organic process. It spontaneously arises. The alternative to this is a more structured process. That is like, you could think of this as, structured isn't the right word, but I'm still sort of thinking this out. But the alternative to organic process is a more structured process that works better for long-term objectives. So let's say I'm writing a novel that requires more of a structured process, or I have a business, or I'm trying to start a company, right? That requires a very structured process. So these things are not like vacations where you can sort of organically build up that tension as towards your objective as time goes along, and you can sort of almost have a muse, have a sort of rhythm to it. These things are a lot more rigid in their nature because they require certain tasks to be met in order to reach the end goal. Now, in this whole conversation about process, it's important to note that the creative process is one that entails momentum. And in a more structured process, one that is a very long-term objective, it can be crippling to be thinking that you have to accomplish that goal or objective today, right? So if you are somebody who are like, okay, I want to start a business, I want to become some sort of kingpin, it's not going to happen in a day, right? If you wanted to lead a gang, you wouldn't say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to be the king of the Yakuza. That's not how the king of the Yakuza happened, right? He entered the gang, he had to do some crazy stuff, and then slowly but surely he became the kingpin. So a very similar thing is at work in the creative process. Start small. Start small. That way you figure out a good idea of where you stand, and you're more rooted in the conditions of which you start, and you see yourself slowly make these little gains. And as you make these little gains, you build confidence, and that confidence then allows you to build more momentum. So I think it starts by realizing one of two things. Are you in something more of a structured process, or are you in an organic process? Keep in mind that there's still structure to the organic process. It's just a lot more loose and less rigid. Realizing which sort of process you're using to accomplish the task at hand. And then what I was speaking about earlier in relation to building the momentum by going step by step, because if it is a big task, It's not going to happen today. And that's all that I'm going to leave you guys with today. I hope some of that was helpful, and best of luck in your creative endeavors.